Thank you, Valerio. I don't know if you noticed, Valerio every year changes Maria, so this tells us a lot about Valerio. And now we will go and focus more and more on you, the participants. And let me, first of all, start from where we were last year. Last year, we illustrated to you what was, the approach of participation to Expo Milano 2015. We illustrated the approach that the division based on the BA rules between official and unofficial participants, and the two key principles. We want to have a collaborative approach. We want to do this Expo with participants. And in order to do this, we need an early engagement. Our CEO illustrated to you the results. We have now many countries, many participants, and many of the participants have nominated the commissioners. So we feel that we are having results, and we are encouraged by these results. But now we have to work together on how can we together have this theme, this wonderful theme of the Expo, become reality. How can we do that together? The first thing is obviously how you come to the Expo. And we have two modalities of participation on the Expo. You know that one modality is the traditional modality of a self-built pavilion. We provide an area for your country. We have also in this case a number of important innovations in the construction guidelines that you have received, and we have also updated this year. And important, innovative things that we are asking you to do when you come in your self-built pavilion. And then we have developed this new element that by now you know very well, that is the clusters of Expo Milano 2015. And today I would like to dwell a little bit more on the clusters. Last year it was a concept, an idea, and this year we really made an important progress. We have worked very hard on this, and as you know, we have now passed from a concept to something that really is happening. We have worked very hard, and we now have something that has developed in something extremely practical. And let me start with one important point. Clusters, the thematic clusters in Expo Milano 2015 are for everybody. It's something that we have developed for the participants. For this reason, we want to launch a slogan, an appeal to all the participants. We want you to come and adopt a cluster. Every participant, whatever its modality of participation, should be looking at the theme of the Expo, and in this case at the 9 thematic clusters that we have developed, and come to work specifically with us on these clusters. So, if we can have the next slide. So we have been in these years, in these last 12 months, as you see, working hard with all of you. We have called 8 working groups of the clusters. We have had 80 countries participate to these working groups, and presently, we have 31 countries that have already officially confirmed that they will be participating inside the clusters, and we are discussing, we are in advanced stages of discussions with 50 others. But this is the key element. The cluster is not only for the countries that are part of the cluster itself. But in these 12 months, we have also finalized, and here you have them, you know them by now, the 9 clusters of Expo Milano 2015, their location inside the Expo site. Each of them is an important development of the theme of the Expo. And we are asking you to really consider how can you relate to each and every one of these clusters. As I have said, what we are asking to you is to consider the whole relationship with the clusters of Expo Milano 2015, and consider adopting one of them. Consider what kind of collaboration you can have with the clusters itself. So at this point, the clusters, as you see them, are many things together. First of all, we have the individual spaces of the countries that come to participate in the cluster. And there is very important. Coming to participate in a cluster does not mean that you need to focus only on the element of the cluster. That is the focus of the common areas of the cluster. Inside the clusters, this is a modality of exhibition that is constructed and built by the organizer for you, because as we know, for some countries is a complex endeavor to come and build their own exhibition area, so we are supporting them. We are building inside there your individual exhibition space. In that exhibition space, you can develop at 360 degrees the theme of the Expo based on your priority, based on what you want to take. The importance is that then you are present, you're living inside a village, a town that has a specific life, and this common life is focused around the theme of the Expo. So it's in the common area that then the specific theme of the cluster comes alive. And so let me look at what is the common area of a cluster. Common area of a cluster has many things in itself. First of all, it has an area for food. Obviously, if we have a cluster of coffee, people will want to come and learn about coffee, but at the end of the day, we want to see the coffee, buy the coffee, taste the coffee. So the food and services areas of the clusters will be, in our view, some of the most targeted spots for the visitors. Then we will have for each of the cluster an exhibition on the theme of the cluster. And this exhibition on the theme of cluster we will be developing together with you, the countries that are part of the clusters, but also with countries that are located outside of the clusters and want to collaborate with us. And finally, as it was mentioned also yesterday by Manoj Juneja, we will work closely with the expertise and the support of United Nations agencies that deal on food. We need their technical expertise to find the right approach to the theme of each cluster in these exhibitions. Then, what is most important also, we will have a market in the cluster. If a cluster is dedicated to a specific commodity, we are asking you to take the best of your countries and take those commodities and present them to the visitors inside the cluster. We will have a market of coffee, we will have a market of fruit, we will have a market of rice, and we need the top products from your countries to show to the visitors from all over the world what is really the capability, what is the product of your country. So on the market, we will invite not only the countries in the cluster, but any self-built countries that is having a self-built pavilion that wants to participate in that market to come and participate. And finally, most important, as Matteo told you before, the events. Our Expo will be an Expo of events. And in the clusters, we will have a program of 6 months running throughout the 6 months on event focused on the theme of the cluster. Once again, in collaboration with all participants, the countries in the cluster, countries outside the cluster, civil society, corporate sector, any kind of participant of the Expo that has to contribute on the event, on the program of the event of that cluster is invited to come and work together with us. So as you see, the cluster is something that is really very important. This very complex slide is just to tell you that it's give you a list of all the countries we are discussing with for the participation of the cluster. As you see, the red color of the cluster means that are the confirmed countries. Some clusters are almost full. And we are extremely happy of that. Where other clusters, we are in the process of developing the participation of the countries, but as you see here, we have many, many countries we are discussing, and we are looking forward to welcoming them inside this new modality of participation of Expo Milano 2015. But, from theory, we have to go to practice. So we need to build the clusters. We need to develop something that is unique also in its design as it is in its concept. And we have already started. So we are really happy to present to you today and during these 3 days the results of the International Architectural Workshop that has been concluded just a few days ago, coordinated by Matteo, and that has produced the models and a number of proposals of design of the clusters that you find at the entrance, the exhibition that is here at the entrance of all the models of the clusters. Tomorrow, we will call all the countries participating in the clusters with the manager of the cluster project, that is one of my collaborators, Filippo Ciantia, and we will go and look with you at these models and get your feeling and your opinion. This cluster architectural workshop, we have developed it in the same way we are doing the other things of the Expo, in a collaborative approach. What did we do? We called 180 teachers and students from renowned architectural schools around the world and from 5 continents. They have been participated for 3 weeks of intense work here in Milan, and they have produced what we believe are astonishing results. So let's see this clip about the workshop we had and just concluded yesterday.
Clusters are the most innovative element of the Expo, and to design them, invite and involve 19 different universities coming from 5 different continents.
And finally, let me say thank you to you, to all the students who came from all over in the world to cooperate with us. We strongly believe that the new generation, the younger, are a fundamental support for us. So thank you very much, and see you in 2015.
And this, as you see here, is the list of universities from around the world we have collaborated with. And many of you will recognize your countries. It has been for us a privilege. And as I said before, please, also during the lunchtime, go and visit the exhibition, look at the clusters, give us your reaction, your opinion. In the next few weeks, we will make a final decision and then start to implement the designing and the construction of the clusters. So let me now at this stage recap. If you didn't understand it, the theme guide is the essence of the session that we're trying to illustrate to you. And the theme guide is really for us the master plan, the way in which we work together with you. And I think that is very important. As you see in what we have presented to you, we do not want, as participants, to tell you what to do. That is really your decision. But we want to find the framework in which we collaborate and we reach together a successful Expo. So you know about the theme guide, and I want also to tell you that it is now uploaded on our digital platform that you all have used to register. So you have a tool where you can go and find it, use it, and we are ready here for you to work together. But there's one part of the theme guide that is the final chapter I want to a little bit discuss with you. The final chapter is about the theme statement. So as you now know, the theme statement is an integral part of the contract of participation that we have to sign with you. And we really want to work with you to make this document the real manifesto of your participation. At this stage, we are not asking you an extremely complex and technical document. We are asking a concept, as the word says, is a statement, a clear indication of what do you intend to do, what do you want to do when you come to the Expo in Milan. And as you see here, these are the key elements that we are asking you to focus on. We are looking for, a 3-4 page document that really clarifies how do you intend to work and what are your priorities on these elements. What is important for you to know is that we have set up a group, we call it a TAG inside the company. It's chaired by Matteo. We have people from all our different departments, and we receive your theme statement and we look at them. I can assure you that we look very hard. We look very hard. It's not a judgment in any way, absolutely. It's a way to see how can we interact with you, what are the things that we believe could be missing, or what are the issues that you have and how can we help you in defining these issues. We have now received from you, even if the guide was published and sent to the Commission only a few days ago, we have already received more than 10 theme statements. I must say that some of them are really wonderful, and we have been astonished by the creativity that behind it, and really extremely happy. A few of them, you will see, we will come back and have a nice discussion with you. A discussion more to look, at exactly what is it that you intend to do and how can we help you to do it. But as you know, the theme statement is an integral part of the participation contract that then we will go and sign. Let me also pass to something else that you find in the guide. You will see that we will ask to you, after having signed the participation contract and on the base of the theme statement, in time, but I would say as quickly as possible, to send to us an exhibition project that is a more detailed, at that point, indication, both architecturally, technically, of exactly how your space, how your area, how your pavilion will be developed, and what will be its content. And here we are only giving you some suggestions. Look at some issues that we believe are critical for the success of the Expo. Look at the message that it has to be clear, intelligible. As it has been said before at the beginning, we do not have a specialized public coming to the Expo. So people must understand the issues that you are presenting. Very important, the flow management. People coming to the Expo are many. We have experienced in previous Expos important problems. We need to work all together to beat the queue. And to do this must be a collaboration between who designs and conceives the exhibition area. Some very simple rules, like, if you have one entrance, you have a queue. If you have more entrances and more exits, you have less queue. And the food and beverage areas should have a separate entrance. They are very basic things, but they make a difference in the organization of an Expo. And, looking at the events, the thematic initiatives inside your exhibition space. And lastly, as you have heard for Valerio, that you will hear again in a few moments, there's the technology that is very important. So as you see, we have the concept, we have the theme guide that provides a framework, but also we have the operational tools. And we have to work together. Me and my team, we are at your disposal. You know that tomorrow we will be signing more than 10 contracts with many of you. That is something of, we are extremely proud and happy to do all together. And we are looking forward to continue this working experience with you that is very important for us. Thank you. So we are going towards the end of the session, but there are a few important issues we cannot miss and we must discuss about. We cannot discuss about the theme of Expo Milano 2015 if we do not look at the year 2015. And when we look at the year 2015, we know that this is the deadline of the Millennium Development Goals set by the United Nations. So we have an extremely powerful theme. We have an extremely powerful year, that is 2015, and we have an extremely powerful partner, that is the United Nations. So really we wanted a little bit to dwell on that. As you now know, one of the stars of our international participant meeting is Manoj Juneja. I had so many requests to have his speech that we have to upload it on the website of Expo. So you will find yesterday's speech of Manoj on our Expo site. For us, the relationship with the United Nations, and generally speaking, I would say the role and the collaboration between the participants of our Universal Expo and the United Nations is really a key element. And we want in our Expo to work on that. The United Nations has been one of the first to confirm the participation to Expo 2015 with a letter of the Secretary General in April last year. And then we have intensively worked, and in July this year we have signed a first partnership agreement, an operational agreement that has set up a UN Expo 2015 team. This team is active, works very hard, has the offices in FAO in Rome, and is developing, and together with us is following different important areas of collaborations that you have seen this morning, the thematic areas, the clusters, best practices, the events that we would like to take before 2015 and in 2015 that are an integral part of the big debate, the great debate of the Millennium Development Goals, and what will come after the Millennium Development Goals that is extremely relevant to the issue of our Expo. So this relationship is well underway. It's really a privilege and an honor to have United Nations on board with us, and we see really, and also the organization itself sees important synergies. As Manoj introduced to you yesterday, we are looking at a new model of participation of the United Nations that is not anymore a physical UN pavilion, but is really a pervasive presence horizontally in different parts of the site where there will be the key thematic developments of the United Nations itself. So we will receive support in the clusters, in the thematic areas, and the visitor will find the United Nations and its agencies in different parts and in different moments physically when they visit inside the Expo site. And the relationship with the United Nations is the model for us also as a relationship with other important international organizations. As it has been said, United Nations and CERN in Geneva, that is, a fundamental scientific organization, are already participants. Others, we are looking forward to welcome. Another important partner for us is and will have to be the European Union, of which also Italy and a number of the countries here are part, but also because we know that the European Union plays a key role in the world in terms of nutrition, food, trade, and all the elements connected to the Expo. But also many other organizations. So this model of discussing the presence that is an horizontal presence in some of the key elements of the Expo site is the same model that we will propose to other key important organizations. But the presence of these international organizations in a pervasive way inside the Universal Expo is a key factor of success of our Expo. And this links me to another important thing that we want to do based on the theme of the Expo. The recent conference in Rio has called to all countries on the world to work on the best practices, work on identifying which are the best practices, but essentially which are the best people around the world that are doing the things that make a difference in terms of sustainable development and in terms of nutrition. That is an essential part of the discussion on sustainable development. So once again, here we have something that we want to innovate, but also we want to draw to the tradition of Expos. Expos have been, Universal Expos have developed this important element of the best practices, looking to international competitions, researches on what are the best practices on the theme. We will be doing the same. We are working closely with the BAE on this, and at the beginning of next year, we will launch the international competition to identify these best practices, work with the United Nations, that is a fundamental partner on this, and then determine how we will present them on the site. But let me say that what is most important for us are the people behind these practices. So the people behind these successful practices are for us the real testimonials, the stars of the Expo. And many of these people, we do not know that they exist. So the Expo is also a very important platform to make known to the world who they are and what they are doing. And let me come to a last but very important element when we are speaking about participants and the theme of the Expo and the civil society. We cannot really confront the issue of nutrition, the theme of our Expo around the world today, without looking to a prominent and important role of civil society organizations. The United Nations itself will tell you that most of their work on the ground on nutrition in the world is done through local and international civil society organizations. So we are intensively working. Some of the major organizations, civil society organizations in the world that deal with the issue of nutrition and food have already approached us, and we have an important relationship going on. For us, the presence of civil society is very important. And we will invite you also in your countries to push for the organizations that play a role in your country to come and participate actively to the Expo. We have conceived a house for the civil society inside the Expo site. And this will be the Cascina Triulza. Cascina Triulza is an old farmhouse that is located in the Expo site, it will not be demolished, actually much better. It will be renovated, recreated. It will come to new life and it will have almost 10,000 square meters of exhibition spaces, offices, meeting rooms, where the civil society will be hosted. We are intensively working with the town of Milan to make this project a success. But what is more, we not only we will offer a place for the civil society, a lively and active place, but we will ask them to get together and manage this place, based obviously on rules that we will define, but we want really them to be the actors. Obviously, the presence of the civil society will be also on once again, horizontally throughout the Expo site. So not only the Cascina Triulza, that I would say will be the headquarters of the civil society, but we have seen collaboration in cluster, collaboration in the thematic areas, collaboration in the events, big events that we want to take in the Expo with some of these civil society organizations. This afternoon we will have a session dedicated to the participation of civil society. I will be happy to share it and present to the organizations and to the countries that are interested, our model, how we will be working together, and what is even more important, we will be signing the first participation agreement with some of these key organizations. So once again, getting operational, starting to build up our Expo. This takes me at the end, once again, of my presentation. We have also very important sessions this afternoon, as we have said, for official participants, for civil society. Sarah, that is here directing all of us this morning, will then make the presentation of communication to all of you. That is also another key important element on which we have to work all together. Thank you very much.